Welcome back, my dear students. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to factor quadratic trinomials with leading coefficient not equal to 1. As in this example, we have 2x squared minus 17x plus 21, where there is no common factor to take before we start. So we are going directly to factor this into two brackets. I will show you now a very easy method. You will take this 2, which is the leading coefficient, and you will multiply it by the constant term at the end. So now it will be x squared without the 2 minus 17x plus 21 times 2 is 42. Now this is a trinomial that we can factor with the leading coefficient 1. So we can factor this into two brackets like this. It will be x and x. And we know from the last lesson that we have to get here the two numbers that when we multiply them we get positive 42, and when we add them we get negative 17. So these two numbers are a negative 14 and a negative 3. If you multiply negative 14 times negative 3, this is positive 42, and if you add negative 14 minus 3, it is negative 17, which is negative 17x. Now, because we multiplied at the beginning, we multiplied here by 2, so we will now divide the negative 14 and the negative 3 over 2. Okay, so this is now like x minus 14 over 2 is 7, and this is x minus 3 over 2. Because 3 over 2 is a fraction, I will take this 2 and I will multiply it by x to keep the 3 as it is without a fraction, without denominator, so it will be 2x minus 3. And this is the factored form of this trinomial. Another example, 4x squared plus 18x minus 10. In this trinomial, we will first take a common factor between 4, 18, and 10 because it's obvious that there is a common factor 2 between the three terms. And this will be 2x squared here plus 9x minus 5. Now this 2 will remain as it is outside the bracket, and I'm going to factor this bracket into two brackets like this. But before we do this, we know that 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 is a trinomial with a leading coefficient not equal to 1. So I will do like the same example before. I will take this 2 and I will multiply it by 5. I will take this 2 and multiply it by the last constant term. So this will be x squared plus 9x without change, and minus 5 times 2, it is 10. So I multiply it here by 2. Now you can factor now this bracket. Remember also the 2 remains as it is outside the bracket, and we'll factor this bracket into two brackets here with an x here, an x here. And what are the factors of negative 10, or the two numbers? You multiply, you get negative 10, and when you add, you get positive 9. Of course, it is positive 10 and minus 1 here. When you add 10 minus 1, it is positive 9, and when you multiply positive 10 times negative 1, it is negative 10. Now, because I multiplied at the beginning by 2, I have to end up with dividing the 10 over 2 and also the 1 over 2. So here would be x plus 10 over 2 is 5, and x minus 1 over 2, again, it's a fraction. I will not leave this fraction like this. I will take this 2 and multiply it as a coefficient for x. So this will be 2x minus 1, and this is the factored form of this example. Thank you for watching. I hope you understand. Please watch, like, and share, and subscribe. And see you next video.